What if the greatest threat to your freedom lies within you? Hidden in the shadows of your psyche, traits you deny or bury can twist into toxic forces, manipulating your choices, sabotaging your relationships, and chaining you to a life of conflict. Carl Jung, the visionary of analytical psychology, called this the shadow, the dark, repressed parts of ourselves we refuse to face. But when these shadows take control, they don't just hurt you, they poison everyone around you. That nagging feeling when someone's anger seems forced, their charm too polished, or their silence too heavy. It's not just unease. It's a warning to confront these toxic shadows before they consume your life. In this video, we're exposing 8 toxic shadows Jung urged us to face: the repressed, the deceiver, the denier, the resenter, the pretender, the saboteur, the loner, and the tyrant. Stay with us, because by the end, you'll know how to recognize these dangers, protect your psyche, and break free now. Have you ever felt your own shadows controlling you? Let's uncover the truth together. The first toxic shadow is the repressed. Jung taught that when we suppress emotions like anger, they don't vanish, they fester, erupting in ways that manipulate others or ourselves. The repressed hide their rage behind a calm facade, but it leaks out as passive aggression or sudden outbursts, threatening your peace. You might know a repressed, a coworker who snaps unexpectedly, a friend who makes cutting remarks, a partner who bottles up frustration until it explodes. Their shadow manipulates through unpredictability, destabilizing your world. Picture Sarah at work. She's quiet, always agreeable. But when you take credit for a shared idea, she glares and mutters, "It's fine, I don't care." Later, she forgets to include you in a key email, sabotaging your project. Her repressed anger isn't just personal. It's a toxic shadow controlling through subtle retaliation. Or consider Tom, your friend, who smiles through gritted teeth when you cancel plans. "No big deal," he says, but his sarcastic jabs at dinner. "Guess you're too busy for us." Cut deep. His suppressed rage manipulates your guilt. In a relationship, Lisa seems patient, but when you disagree, she explodes, shouting, "You never listen." Her outburst, hidden behind her usual calm, leaves you walking on eggshells. Or imagine your sibling, Mike, who holds grudges silently, only to lash out months later over a small slight. His repressed shadow controls through fear. To recognize the repressed, watch for inconsistent emotions. Do they seem calm but snap suddenly? Are their comments laced with hidden anger? Notice body language. Tight smiles or clenched fists are red flags. To confront this shadow, acknowledge your own anger. Journal your feelings to process them, and encourage open communication with others, saying, "Let's talk about what's upsetting you." Set boundaries against outbursts like, "I won't tolerate yelling." If their unpredictability shakes you, that's a sign to protect your psyche. Have you ever been blindsided by someone's hidden rage? That's the repressed, and you need to confront it now. The second toxic shadow is the deceiver. Jung saw the shadow as hiding traits we're ashamed of, and deceivers use charm to mask their deceit, manipulating others for gain. Their polished words and fake warmth draw you in, only to exploit your trust. You might know a deceiver, a colleague who flatters to steal your ideas, a friend who lies for attention, a partner who uses charm to dodge accountability. Their shadow threatens your freedom by making you doubt your judgment. Imagine Rachel, your coworker, always praising you. "You're so talented," she beams, her eyes sparkling. But she takes your ideas to the boss, claiming them as hers. Her charm was a deception, a toxic shadow to advance herself. Or consider Jake, a friend who spins dramatic stories about his life, earning your sympathy. When you learn he lied about his struggles, you feel betrayed. His deceitful shadow manipulates your emotions. In a relationship, Emma uses sweet words to avoid blame. "I'd never hurt you," she says, batting her eyes, though she forgot your birthday again. Or think of a neighbor, Sophia, who borrows money with promises, only to vanish when it's time to repay. Her charm hides her deceit. To recognize the deceiver, watch for inconsistent actions. Does their charm come with strings attached? Do their stories unravel under scrutiny? Their overly polished demeanor is a red flag. To confront this shadow, verify their claims, check facts or ask others. Set boundaries like "I need proof before I agree." Document their lies, save texts or emails with dates to protect yourself. If their charm feels manipulative, that's a sign to break free. Have you ever been swayed by someone's charm, only to feel used? That's the deceiver, and you need to confront it now. The third toxic shadow is the denier. Jung warned that denying uncomfortable truths strengthens the shadow, and deniers manipulate by rejecting reality, gaslighting you into doubting your own perceptions. You might know a denier, a partner who denies hurtful words, a coworker who shirks responsibility, a friend who dismisses debts. Their shadow distorts your reality, threatening your mental clarity. Picture Mark and Sophie in a heated argument. Mark yells, "You're useless." But the next day he insists, "I never said that," his voice calm. Sophie questions her memory, her confidence crumbling. That's the denier's toxic shadow, rewriting reality to control. Or consider David at work, whose sloppy work tanks a project. "It wasn't my fault," he says, blaming the team. His denial manipulates others into taking the fall. In a friendship, Laura owes you $200 but claims, "I paid you back," leaving you second-guessing. Or imagine a parent, Jane, who denies your childhood struggles, saying, "You're exaggerating." Her denial invalidates you, a toxic control. To recognize the denier, watch for rejection of truth. Do they dismiss events you know happened? Do they make you doubt your reality? Their calm insistence is a red flag. To confront this shadow, trust your memory. Keep records of events like texts or notes with dates. Seek validation from trusted friends or therapists. Don't argue about reality. State facts, like, "I have proof of what happened." If their denial clouds your clarity, that's a sign to protect yourself. Have you ever been told something didn't happen when you know it did? That's the denier, and you need to confront it now. The fourth toxic shadow is the resenter. Jung noted that unacknowledged resentment festers in the shadow, poisoning relationships. Resenters hold grudges, manipulating through bitterness or silent hostility, punishing you for perceived slights. You might know a resenter, a sibling who envies your success, a friend who sulks over your happiness, a colleague who undermines you out of spite. Their shadow threatens your peace with toxic bitterness. Imagine Mia, your sister, who congratulates you on a promotion, but her smile is tight. Later, she criticizes your work, saying, "You're not that great." Her resentment, hidden in the shadow, manipulates through hostility. Or consider Tom, a friend who sulks when you get attention. "Must be nice to be the star," he mutters, his tone sharp. His grudge poisons your friendship. At work, Karen resents your leadership role, spreading rumors to undermine you. Or think of a partner, Alex, who holds a grudge over a forgotten anniversary, giving you the silent treatment for weeks. His resentment controls through guilt. To recognize the resenter, watch for bitterness. Do they dwell on past slights? Do they punish you with silence or snide remarks? Their hostility is a red flag. To confront this shadow, address grudges directly. "I sense you're upset, can we talk?" Forgive yourself for perceived wrongs and set boundaries like, "I won't tolerate passive aggression." Document their behavior, note dates and comments to track patterns. If their bitterness feels toxic, that's a sign to protect your psyche. Have you ever felt someone's resentment poisoning your bond? That's the resenter, and you need to confront it now. The fifth toxic shadow is the pretender. Jung described the persona as a mask we wear, but the pretender's shadow uses fake identities to manipulate, hiding their true self to gain trust or power. You might know a pretender, a coworker who fakes expertise, a friend who mimics your values, a partner who hides their flaws. Their shadow threatens your trust with deception. Picture John at work, claiming he's an expert in coding. He nods confidently in meetings, but his work is shoddy, costing the team time. His pretend expertise manipulates trust. Or consider Emma, a friend who mirrors your interests to get close, but her stories shift depending on who's listening. Her pretense hides her true motives. In a relationship, Mike acts like the perfect partner, thoughtful, attentive. But after marriage, his cold side emerges. Or imagine a classmate, Sophia, who pretends to be your ally to copy your work, then takes credit. Her shadow manipulates through false facades. To recognize the pretender, watch for inconsistency. Do their stories change? Do their actions contradict their words? Their shifting persona is a red flag. To confront this shadow, verify their claims, check credentials or ask probing questions. Trust your instincts and set boundaries like, I need honesty. Document discrepancies, note shifting stories with dates to protect yourself. If their facade feels fake, that's a sign to break free. Have you ever trusted someone who wasn't who they seemed? That's the pretender, and you need to confront it now. The sixth toxic shadow is the saboteur. Jung saw self-destructive impulses in the shadow, and saboteurs manipulate by undermining themselves or others, often unconsciously. You might know a saboteur, a colleague who derails projects, a friend who ruins opportunities, a partner who sabotages your goals. Their shadow threatens your progress with chaos. Imagine David at work, always missing deadlines, blaming bad luck. His errors tank team projects, but he shrugs. It's not my fault. His self-sabotage manipulates others into cleaning up his mess. Or consider Lisa, a friend who procrastinates on job applications, then guilts you into helping. Her sabotage controls your time. In a relationship, Tom criticizes your ambitions, saying, "You'll fail anyway," undermining your confidence. Or think of yourself, avoiding challenges out of fear, sabotaging your own growth. The shadow within manipulates your potential. To recognize the saboteur, watch for destructive patterns. Do they create chaos that drags others down? Do they undermine your success? Their excuses are a red flag. To confront this shadow, reflect on your own self-sabotage. Journal to identify fears. For others, set limits like, I can't fix your mistakes. Document their actions, note dates and impacts to avoid their chaos. If their sabotage stalls your progress, that's a sign to protect yourself. Have you ever been derailed by someone's chaos? That's the saboteur, and you need to confront it now. The seventh toxic shadow is the loner. Jung believed the shadow thrives in isolation, and loners manipulate by withdrawing, using silence to control or punish. You might know a loner, a partner who shuts you out, a friend who ghosts you, a coworker who avoids collaboration. Their shadow threatens your connection with emotional distance. Picture Sophie, your partner, who retreats after arguments, refusing to talk. "Leave me alone," she says, locking herself away. Her silence manipulates you into chasing her. Or consider Jake, a friend who disappears when you need support, only to return when it suits him. His withdrawal controls your friendship. At work, Karen isolates herself, skipping team meetings, forcing others to cover her work. Or imagine your own tendency to isolate when stressed, pushing loved ones away. The loner's shadow manipulates through absence. To recognize the loner, watch for withdrawal. Do they shut down to avoid conflict? Do they use silence to control? Their distance is a red flag. To confront this shadow, seek connection. Reach out to trusted friends or therapists. For others, address their withdrawal. I need you to communicate. Document their absence, note dates of ghosting to set boundaries. If their silence feels punishing, that's a sign to protect your psyche. Have you ever been controlled by someone's absence? That's the loner, and you need to confront it now. The eighth toxic shadow is the tyrant. Jung saw power-hungry impulses in the shadow, and tyrants manipulate through control, demanding obedience. You might know a tyrant, a boss who micromanages, a parent who dictates your life, a partner who controls your choices. Their shadow threatens your autonomy with dominance. Imagine Alex, your boss, who insists on approving every decision. "Do it my way," he snaps, dismissing your ideas. His control stifles your creativity, a toxic shadow. Or consider Mia, a parent who plans your career saying, "I know what's best." Her dominance manipulates your future. In a relationship, Tom controls your schedule, demanding, "Tell me where you're going." His tyranny traps you. Or think of yourself, trying to control others out of fear. The tyrant's shadow manipulates through power. To recognize the tyrant, watch for control. Do they demand obedience? Do they dismiss your autonomy? Their dominance is a red flag. To confront this shadow, assert your independence. Say, "I'll make my own choices." Reflect on your own controlling tendencies and seek balance through therapy or journaling. Document their demands. Note dates and examples to protect yourself. If their control feels suffocating, that's a sign to break free. Have you ever felt trapped by someone's need to control? That's the tyrant, and you need to confront it now. Let's bring this together. These 8 toxic shadows, the repressed, deceiver, denier, resenter, pretender, saboteur, loner, and tyrant, are not just flaws. They're dangers Carl Jung warned us to confront, lurking in the psyche, manipulating you and those around you. They're the coworker who sabotages, the friend who deceives, the partner who controls, or even the shadow within you, holding you back. Their toxicity threatens your freedom, your relationships, your peace. But you have the power to recognize them, to protect your psyche, to break free now. Start with awareness. Know these shadows and their tactics. The repressed erupts. Process your anger. The deceiver charms. Verify their words. The denier gaslights. Trust your reality. The resenter poisons. Address grudges. The pretender fakes. Seek authenticity. The saboteur destroys. Set limits. The loner withdraws. Build connections. The tyrant controls. Assert independence. Face your fears through journaling or therapy to integrate your shadow. For others, set boundaries like, "I won't tolerate manipulation." Document their behavior, save texts, emails, or notes with dates, to protect yourself. Seek balance with supportive people who value your growth. If a shadow feels toxic, don't ignore it. You can confront it and reclaim your freedom. You're not alone. Maybe you're seeing these shadows now, in yourself, a friend, a loved one. Have you felt their manipulation in your life? Have you confronted a shadow within? Share your story in the comments. Tell us about the time you faced a toxic trait, broke free from control, or recognized a shadow's grip. Your experience could inspire someone else to confront their darkness. If you want to dive deeper into Carl Jung's wisdom, the toxic shadows you can't ignore, and how to protect your psyche, hit that subscribe button. Danger Radar is here to guide you, to unmask the threats hiding in your mind. Don't let these shadows control you. Break free now. Stay sharp, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.